Does using the air conditioning system or the AC on your vehicle increase the fuel consumption of your car? And if it does, then how bad is it? Let's find out in this video. So the basic answer to this question is yes, it does increase the fuel consumption when you use the AC on your car, but there are actually some conditions where you can save on fuel by using the air conditioning system. And first of all, I think let's start by understanding just in a basic sense how the air conditioning system works on your car, and that way I'll be better able to answer your question on how the fuel consumption increases and in which situations it's better to actually use the AC than not to use the AC on your car. So basically we're doing this video on this Axio with a 1NZ engine, but what I'm talking about is going to apply to pretty much any engine, whether it's a diesel or a petrol engine, because the systems work pretty much the same. So inside your AC system is a liquid refrigerant. We don't need to know the details of what that refrigerant is called, but basically at the bottom on this car, it's at the bottom of the engine there, you can see that is a compressor. And what that does is basically take that refrigerant fluid and it pumps it into the system, pressurizes it. I may have made a very crucial mistake here, so I'm just going to do a voiceover. The compressor pressurizes the system, which then pushes that liquid into the evaporator, where it is turned into a gas, and there is an increase in temperature. And that heat will be released into the condenser, and that heat will be drawn away from the condenser using the cooling fan. As you can see, the cooling fan actually turns on when your AC is running. And the rapid cooling of that liquid is what now is used to cool the inside of your vehicle through the blower that's located inside your dashboard. So that's a basic understanding of the system. So now when you turn on your AC, this pump gets connected, this pump or this compressor, as I called it, gets connected to the engine via the serpentine belt. This belt that connects onto the alternator, it also connects onto the water pump, and then connects down to the compressor. So using a clutch, the compressor is connected to this belt, and then your engine has to pump that liquid into the system to be able to cool down your car. The effect that this has on the engine is what is called a parasitic loss, and because the engine has to drive that pump, that is called a parasitic loss, because you're actually using the power of the engine to drive that compressor. So with that said, when your engine is driving the compressor, it actually uses fuel up to 10 to 20% more fuel, but that's all dependent on the conditions in which you are using your AC. So the first condition in which your fuel consumption can actually be high if you're using the AC is when you're using the AC in conditions where you are in slow driving situations. So like if you're stuck in traffic for a very long time and you're using your AC, or if your car is just parked and you're idling, it can be using anywhere from 10 to 20% more fuel. But where your AC actually becomes useful is when you're driving on the highway. So basically when you're driving on the highway, your engine is operating at a much higher speed, and also there is what is called drag resistance. So what drag resistance is basically how your car is trying to fight the air that is coming in front of it. And basically when you're driving on the highway, or you're going at high speed, say you're doing above 80 kilometers an hour, if you have your windows open, there's actually a lot of resistance on your car, because the air is flowing into the car, and that causes it to force the car to fight against that resistance of the air that's going into the windows and inside your car. So you actually benefit from turning on your AC, because once you close the windows, all the air that's coming in front, or the air that you are driving through, is just flowing smoothly around the car. And that's what it means when you hear that a car is aerodynamic. It's just how it cuts through the air, and the air flows smoothly on top, it flows smoothly to the sides. So in those situations, if you turn on your AC, you're going on a long trip, you actually end up saving 5 to 10% of fuel as compared to when you have your windows open. So whenever you're doing a constant speed of above 80 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, there's actually zero benefit in fuel consumption if you turn off your AC. you actually benefit more from having your AC on and closing your windows, because there'll be that wind resistance won't be going through your car, and yeah, your car is actually going to be saving much more fuel with your AC running. Another thing that can increase the fuel consumption on your car when you're using the AC is if your car is already, your engine is already in a bad condition. So for example, if you don't service it regularly, it's got misfiring problems, it's got an air filter that's blocked and stuff like that. Now once you turn on the AC compressor and it has to do extra work to drive the AC compressor now and drive your wheels, then you have a really high fuel consumption. But on average, if you keep your car neat, it's got the service done at the right time, all the components are working well, the fuel consumption difference is actually not that high. Even when you're doing normal city driving, you can actually see a very little difference if your engine is in very good condition. And that's also because cooling systems these days, or the AC, have become very smart. So the system is not always running as it used to in older cars. You can hear sometimes the compressor connecting and disconnecting, and that just allows you to be able to save as much fuel as the cooling system is running for your car. So just make sure that you're keeping your car in very good shape, you do your service at the right time, making sure all the sensors and components are working properly, and that way, if you want to use AC even in low speed conditions, or conditions where you're idling a lot, you will still save quite a bit of fuel, because it is a smart system and it's built to just be as efficient as possible. So that was just a basic video about the AC system on your car. If you love to use your AC, whether it's in low traffic and slow driving situations, just make sure that you're on top of your maintenance. You will still be able to save fuel. And also, if you're driving on highway, it's definitely more beneficial to use your AC than to have your windows open, because you end up using up more of your fuel. So yeah, if I left out anything, you guys know that you can leave that in the comment section. I do stay active in the comment section, and you guys can leave questions and suggestions for future videos. But until the next one, guys, take care and drive safe.